In this video, I'll be breaking down the slime race passives, the priest class abilities, and showing you exactly how each skill works in combat. First off, let's go over the slime race ability, so let's go over them one by one. So the first ability I'm going to be explaining is the Vicious Shock. This does 10 magic damage, it sacrifices some of your HP, but it creates a powerful slime shockwave. As you can see that I'm using this ability on the slime, and it's putting in some damage. And it did 16 magic damage as you see on the screen. This ability is great for creating space when enemies get too close, but keep in mind that it costs HP, so you need to manage it and use it wisely. The second passive is called Slime Body. This one is minus 7.5 magic resistance. This is actually the cons about it because you take slightly more damage from magical attacks. Minus 7.5 fire resistance, so be extra careful against fire-based enemies because you'll be taking more damage from fire. And then it's plus 25 immunity. So this is good because you'll be less affected by crowd control effects, like stuns and slows. And then the last passive is Vicious Remains. When struck, there's a chance to release a blob of slime. Now I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what this is for, but as you can see, as I got hit, I released a blob of slime. I'm not too sure what it does, but this is one of the racial passives. So now let's move on into the priest class. This class is all about supporting, healing, and light-based magic. And now that you have your staff as your primary weapon, you'll be focusing on keeping yourself and your allies alive, while dealing some holy damage when needed. So keep in mind that each of these abilities are reached based on a certain level in your class. Basically, the higher your level, the more abilities that you will obtain in this class. So the first priest ability I'm going to be explaining is the Holy Light. Now this one heals yourself with the right click, and with the left click it also heals others, such as your teammates. This ability heals 45 HP, but then it drains 50 mana. The next ability is called the Holy Shield. This casts a protective shield on yourself using right click, or on allies using left click. This also drains 50 mana as well. This ability is great for blocking incoming damage. It's best to use before engaging or protecting an ally before a battle. And please guys, do not make a mistake and put a shield on the enemy, because the game allows you to do it, but just please don't make a mistake. If you guys use to holy shield a boss, for example, then your battle is gonna become even worse. But if you was to do it for slime, it doesn't really make any difference because the slime is very weak. Now the third ability is going to be the Holy Fire, and this one does 20 holy damage, and the mana drain is 50. This ability is going to be your offensive weapon, and the Holy Fire is great for chipping away enemies' health little by little, but once you do the ability, it does 20 holy damage. Now the next ability is called Holy Imbue. Once you activate it, your basic attack is now inflicted holy damage. This is great for adding some extra consistent damage to your attacks. It's perfect when you're out of mana, but you still need to contribute. The next ability is called Flash Heal, which is an extremely fast healing spell. This is just like Holy Light, but except that you're using more mana and you're healing for less. For Flash Heal, since it's faster, it's going to be healing for less. But this is actually better just in case if someone is about to die and you need to heal them as fast as possible. This is where Flash Heal comes in handy. The next ability is called Smite, which is lightning, and this does holy damage of 30 and the mana drain is 50. This is a solid offensive spell that can finish off weakened enemies. I advise you to combine the Holy Fire and the Smite, so that way you can do a lot of damage to the enemies. Now the next ability is called Dispel. This ability removes most debuffs, and in order for you to do that is to press right click to dispel yourself, and to dispel teammates you left click. This is really good if you're poisoned, you're able to take the poison by dispelling yourself. And this can come in clutch because the poison really takes up a lot of your HP, and the time for that poison to go away takes a while, so you will want to dispel yourself as soon as you're poisoned. The next ability is more like a passive, but it does count as an ability, and it's called Mana Training. So Mana Training allows you to increase your mana regeneration. If you was to put this as one of your abilities, you can increase more mana, so that way you can do more damage in battle. And I say that it's really good to put this on so that way you can help your teammates better and faster, and you don't leave any mana on the table. And like I was saying before, the more you rank up, the more abilities you get for your class. So I just covered mana trading, but then as you rank up you get mana trading too. So it's an upgraded version of the first one, and this is me using both of them. And finally, the last ability is called Intelligence, which grants intellect buff to you and your nearby allies. This will cost 100 mana, and it is very good because you're able to intellect buff, meaning you can do more damage in your intelligence. So as you can see, before I use intelligence, I would do 16 magic damage, and this is me, ignore me getting it, this is me using the intelligence, and now I do 17. Which is +1. It's really not that much, but if I was to use something else, it would probably increase my magic damage a little bit more. Who knows, but this is how you use the ability. All in all, you can see that the priest is very supportive character. So now when it comes to the best playstyle for Slime Priest, let's talk about how to actually play this build efficiently. So I'll say that the first thing you need to know if you're going to play a Slime Priest build is you need to stay near your teammates at all costs, because you don't want to get caught in the front lines. This character is not made to solo, but it is made to support the person that's in the front line, so you guys can be as efficient as possible. And what you have to do is manage your mana, and using mana training is going to be very useful for that, because you don't want to lose any mana. And let's say your teammates need a heal, you're going to have mana on the side, so that way you can heal your teammates just in case if they're low. And one thing to think about as well is that using Vicious Shock can allow you to put some damage just to bring the enemies back. It does cost some HP, like I said before. If enemies is closing into you and your teammates are not able to get them, then you can use Vicious Shock to push them back. And last but not least, what you can do if you want is you can take a few hits. The reason why I'm saying that because you can use that advantage to stay in the fight longer and support your team more efficiently. So what do you guys think? Is this Slime Piece worth playing? Here's a breakdown. It's a great team support with shields and buffs, can self-sustain with healing abilities, more resistant to crowd controls such as stuns and slows, with 25% immunity. And the bad thing about it is you cannot solo carry with this class, so it works best for teams. You need to have good mana management to stay effective, and is weak against fire and magic damage. So be careful around the mages. And that's it for today's video about the Slime Race plus Priest class combo in Rune Slayer. If you guys like this video, let me know what I should do next. If you guys want to know everything that I said into one website I just made, then everything's going to be down in the description. You guys can screenshot the information that I just sent you, and I hope you guys found this valuable. The next video I'll be answering you guys questions that you guys commented in my last video, and hope you guys found it valuable, and thank you guys for watching the video.